What up, y'all? I am Vegas, and this is One2FlowOn, live from the dungeons of rap. And, well, it's my garage, but this is the set where I usually review stuff, but this is One2FlowOn. And the topic today is 2017 streaming service state of hip-hop. I just made that up. But, alright, I used to have a blog, right? Rest in peace. Since 2009. I ended it, I believe, last year. It was called hiphoppolitic.com. And what I like to do after a while, once we transitioned from the CDs to mostly streaming services, was to do like a state of the streaming service, like post or whatever. And the thing with that was, it started when I myself decided that I was going to take all these CDs I had, sell them, and move over to a more digital, foundation for myself. So like all of my music is digital, right? But I also use streaming services, and I got a lot of albums, but I don't have everything, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people ask all the time, well, what do you use? I use Spotify, but over time, that has kind of shifted for a lot of people. So let's just talk about, in 2017, the streaming services that are available and what's best for you. The three pillars of music streaming. And this is for the hip hop fan. Of course, other fans, there's other reasons, but we're talking about for hip hop, right? There's Spotify, like I said, which is the largest. Don't get mad. It's the largest. It's the one that was doing it first over these other two. It has the bigger library as far as music goes, and it has more subscribers. Then there's Apple Music, which, because of the install base of people who own iPhones and iPads and are just locked into the iOS ecosystem, they automatically went up to that second spot based off of that alone, and some other things that I'll mention. And then there's Tidal, which honestly, I messed with that streaming app before Jay-Z was attached to it, and I liked it a lot, but it wasn't very reliable. And they've improved some things, they made some things slick, but let's be honest, Tidal is only in the conversation because of the artists that back it. Because most of you, unless you're a tech junkie like myself, you didn't know about Tidal until they got it. Come on. I ain't lying. But this is the thing, right? So let's start with Tidal. Tidal's main bonus for somebody who may be coming into the whole streaming services is its exclusives. If you love everything Jay-Z and Beyonce do, like you love everything, you don't care what it is, you belong on Tidal for that reason alone. Why? Because Tidal lives off of exclusives. That's really their bread and butter. They do have a high quality sound that they offer that Spotify and Apple do offer, but it's not as high. But the issue with that is, do you have the data to stream that high quality music? Maybe not. Maybe you only listen in the house, therefore it may be cool, but also you will be paying more, because I believe it's closer to $20 a month if you want the hi-fi sound versus the regular, I won't say regular like it's whack, it's still good, but if you want a more standard sound, then you pay like $10 a month or so. But Tidal is really about the exclusives. It just is. You know what I'm saying? If you want to watch exclusive videos, or, Jay-Z put out 444, you want an exclusive access, you were there for that, unless you're a Sprint customer. But that's really what they have, is exclusivity to some music. And if you know, like I know, you can still get that exclusive music when it drops without the subscription. Then there's Apple Music. Apple Music, again, has that install base, but they also have exclusives. And I think the best thing about Apple Music is not necessarily just the library of music, because that's available everywhere, like I said. It's the Beats One radio, hands down. But they're also giving you a more traditional radio program. A lot of these streaming apps give you radio, but it's basically Pandora. It's basically a shuffle list based off of, you know, one artist and other artists that they relate or tie to it, and they mix it up. No, this is a radio show for Beats One Radio, and it's for different, you know, for different genres. And it's dope. And a lot of stuff, you know, Drake tends to do a lot of exclusive stuff with Apple as far as their biggest stuff, and so does Dr. Dre. So they're kind of like the same thing as Tidal, but just on a bigger scale because it's Apple and everything that comes along with it. Then there's Spotify, right? And I like to say Tidal, Apple Music are more so for the enthusiasts of the hype. That's not a bad thing. If you want to be hyped up about an album, you want to be hyped up about a new video, and you're proud of the fact that you have a subscription and you're the first to watch it, and you and your other friends who have the subscription, there's nothing wrong with that. But what Spotify has is for the music enthusiasts. If you love music, you should be on Spotify. Why? They just have way more. They have way more to choose from. There were times where a lot of these other sites, a lot of these other streaming services, I don't know, it may have changed now, but a lot of these other streaming services, they didn't have mixtapes on their joints. They just had albums. Spotify had mixtapes. Like, I mean, if there were times where I would go and type in like, yo, I want to hear this Locks freestyle that only appeared on this DJ Clue mixtape at this point. I put it in the search and it pops up. You know what I'm saying? You can't beat that. They have a higher quality sound. You know what I'm saying? They have downloadable music. All of them have downloadable music that you can listen offline, so you don't have to use your data, but you're going to use the gigabytes on your phone. And it's just the variety. Now, of course, it kind of sucks because you have people like Jay-Z pulling their music off and it not being exclusive. But to me, Jay-Z's catalog not being there just isn't enough. Unless you are an insane Jay-Z fan. But I can't even say that. If you're an insane Jay-Z fan, how do you not own all of it? So again, for the music enthusiasts like myself who already owns a ton of music, for me to be like, and this was before Apple Music and Tidal came around, but I was like, you know what? I kind of like T.I., but I never really heard any of his albums. I literally went to the gym about 4 or 5 days a week, you know, and I would listen to each T.I. album from beginning to end and seeing which ones I like, or if I like it, if I skip it a lot. And I did that with a couple of artists, you know what I'm saying? And after a while, I started to realize, like, man, this is like a gold mine. Anything I want, it's like Google. You know what I'm saying? You know how you got a question? I don't care if it's a simple question like, yo, how do I turn that light on? Google it. Somebody somewhere has a video detailing when you lift your finger and you want to shift your finger down upon the switch, and then it's off. Spotify feels more like a Swiss Army knife where you have options, whereas the others get more into that exclusive territory, and that makes it, oh, well, if you want this, you need to come over here. Now, I will say this, for Apple's exclusives, at least Drake exclusives, they do make their way over to the other streaming services, which is smart by Drake. Dr. Dre, on the other hand, The Chronic, I don't believe you can stream anywhere but maybe Apple Music, maybe Tidal. But again, how do you not own The Chronic? In 2017, what is the streaming service for you? For me personally, it's Spotify. But I know there are other people who use Apple Music religiously. There are other people who use Tidal religiously. Let me just say this about Tidal. As far as interface for when you play music, Tidal has it hands down. To have a record spinning with the album you listen to, I just like shit like that. I'm sorry. It's just dope. But it's just not enough for me to get a streaming service when Spotify is king. So what do you think? Leave your comments in the comment section. Do you use Apple Music? Do you use Google Play Music? Do you use Tidal? Use Spotify? Or you just still on Pandora like it does what I need? Or maybe there's another app. Leave that in the comment section below. You can follow me on social media at Vegas World INC, and subscribe to this channel. Hit that like button, comment, and share it with people you know enjoy this kind of content. Until next time, y'all, I am not a critic. I'm a fan. Peace. Grab my lightsaber. I know y'all were looking at this shit. Get your ass out of here. Peace.
Drop it on the random.